Welcome everyone, this is Retro Challenge Gamer, 20 levels in and the ideas just won't stop. Continuing my trend of mixing together unusual themes, I figured slapping together underwater with open sky towers seemed like a nice combination. Mixing it further with underwater fireballs and torches worked even better. My final Super Mario Bros. 3 themed level to date so far, and it is definitely my most complicated. With so many secrets and challenges, and in my opinion, great paced gameplay, using as much of the level space given to me by the editor, I can definitely call this RCG approved. One of my favorite levels that I spent several days creating just to make sure I had a solid and interesting level to not only look at, but also to play. Enjoy the video. So since the Sky Tower sections had to be vertical in nature, and the editor doesn't give you anything but the sub area to be optional as vertical, the beginning and end areas had to be underwater. That was just due to the limitations of the Mario Maker engine. So as a result, to make the most of the very first screen being underwater, it was a vertical screen. And to get to the actual portion, the portion I really wanted to design, which was the Sky Towers. And like the tilt platform peaks, I wanted to make as much of the pass-through platforms connect with each other as possible to create an interesting backdrop here for it to play and look at. But I also didn't want to come across or afoul of the limitation of using so many pass-through platforms touching each other, which I think is 5 at a time. So as you can see, I've kind of spaced them out a bit, because if you do more than that, then they're going to start disappearing for no explainable reason. I still can't figure out why they do that. So the first area is not too bad, and a small little secret for your efforts. I mean, there's more than that in this area, but I decided to skip it from now, and we'll show them at the end of the video as usual. So I figured this would be a good place to put the first of 2 checkpoints. And this is the start of not exactly the hardest part of the level, but it gives you a little taste of what's going to be coming up next in the second underwater segment. This is almost like a maze, where the prizes are coins or warp pipes to other parts, other bonus areas, and of course a couple pink coins littered throughout. But in the end, there is still only one path through. I had real fun designing this, because for some reason, playing Super Mario Bros. 3, I remember I guess I could be memorizing this wrong, but I remember going through hordes of those little jellyfish, and I kind of wanted to recreate that here. Now with these tower ones, I didn't really have too much of a plan, kind of just pantsing the whole design all together. But I still enjoyed myself designing this entire level, more so than the underwater sections, but I had also had fun designing those too. On the whole, I actually didn't really have any troubles building this level. Yeah, it took a couple days, but that was just because I had so many complex ideas to put together into one single level, and I wanted to get it right, because this can actually be butchered so very badly if I don't pull off this type of idea correctly. Now we get into the second and final obstacle course, if you will. Now we're introducing a lot more fire here, trying to really trip you up. I had so much fun trying to test this area. And I actually do mean that. I actually was fun trying to figure out, okay, what's the perfect amount of cheeps, enemies where it's still hard, but you can still get through it with enough patience and time and skill, of course, navigating through all the obstacles. Not a lot of jellyfish this time around, but still a lot of other enemies to trip you up. And of course I put little sound effects here to let you know that you pass certain specific trials or challenges. And something I found out playing Super Mario Bros. 3 the other day, and something that I apparently do, is I give way too many power-ups in a level. And I guess that's necessary, because I tend to add a lot of enemies and obstacles and traps and dangers and stuff in my levels. So as a result, you'll probably need those additional power-ups, but the original Super Mario Bros. 3 actually only had 1 power-up per level, if that. And you had to make that 1 power-up work for the remainder of the level. I was kind of surprised at that level design decision replaying Super Mario Bros. 3 recently. So having a power-up basically in each section of the level after 1 or 2 challenges is actually being kind of gratuitous. Now, this idea of using the clown car to be the only option or method to get up to the top portion of the level was kind of genius in my opinion. I really liked pushing this last part of the level so high up that you can't really jump up to it, and you actually have to go down after going back up this section just to get the clown car to reach the very top. It was an idea that I had straight from the beginning of designing this level, but never really got around to it to the 3rd section. And of course, gotta have some sort of boss here. Couldn't really have Boom Boom underwater, so I had a little blooper and its kids. And that's pretty much one of the longest levels I've made. So lots of secrets in each area. The first one being right here where you're going to need to use this Koopa, because there's no other way to get this, and use his shell to get that first pink coin. Now this is kind of a minor secret, other than the 1-up of course. But also getting to this 10 coin, you kind of have to drop down nicely here. That means backtracking, but hey, what you gonna do? Now to get the second pink coin is actually kind of easy in terms of finding it, but getting to it's another matter altogether. I mean, this portion right here requires a lot of patience, which I did not have when recording. Especially since I only had 30 seconds to work with when I was recording off the Switch, since I don't have a dedicated Switch capture card. I think the capture card I have now stops at the Wii era. Yep, this is how you get to that 30 coin. Not too bad. And you gotta work your way up here to the first of 2 bonus areas. They're not really essential to beating the level, but, you know, they're here just in case you want a little pat on the back that you were able to get to one of these 2 bonus areas. And if you're going on an endless challenge, they should provide enough coins to get you 1-ups. Now here in the first maze is the 3rd pink coin. With some patience, you should be able to get there without getting hurt. It's not too bad. Getting in and out, all it requires is a little patience and light tapping on the swimming button. And there's not much down here other than an enemy in the 10 coin, but still, just thought I'd show it, just for good measure. Now the second area has a couple more secrets than the first in terms of the Sky Terrier. There's this down here. There's actually an entire vine here that takes you all the way to the top and skips the entire area altogether. Now, are you going to skip a couple pink coins in the process? Well, yeah, you are. Let's say, for whatever reason, you want to get back to the start from here. Well, you can't. It's kind of hard, so you got to use this little platform here that I put here to make it back and to get actually a 10 coin that you can't get otherwise. Honestly, looking back on it, I probably should have made it a 30 or a 50. Would have been way more beneficial to grab that instead of making it a 10 coin. It doesn't make sense as it is now. But, hindsight is 20/20. Yeah, that was a hard pink coin to get. Now this pink coin, you kind of have to hit it on the way with the bullet bill. You can't stop, so you gotta use the momentum to get over that wall. Of course, it puts you to backtrack a little bit, but Now in the final section, you have this Starman, which can help you get through the next section all the way to the maze easier, or can make getting this final pink coin a lot less difficult. Yeah, kind of have to hang here. And you can make it out in one go, as long as you're fast about it. Just watch out for the fire bars, unlike me. And there's actually a secret down here. That's very cleverly hidden. Now I'm going to skip the key door for now and show you the other sub-area. It isn't too hard to find. And there isn't too much to get here other than a Starman, but there is an extra bonus over here in terms of a power-up. Now in the final area, there's a Starman here you can use. And this can help you get to the final section of the level. But if you go down here in the middle, you'll find an extra one-up for your troubles. And if you ever want to know how to get that 10 coin, this Koopa will show you the way. Now we come back to the key door. All this does is you skip the entire third section of the Sky Towers and the boss, and you go straight to the end of the level. That's it. That is a huge boon for getting all 6 pink coins in this level. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. And hope you try the level out too for yourself.